All right, today I'm going to try and predict the Summerslam lineup for August the 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. Going to try to see if I can guess the card correctly. Now, I'm only going by what I've seen on television and what I saw on the most recent PLE, Money in the Bank, and this past Monday's Raw. And I'm going to try to see if I get this right and if I nail it. Now, there's 4 matches that are pretty much confirmed that I don't believe have been confirmed, but I'm going to assume that they're pretty much a lock to happen at SummerSlam. So we're going to get those out of the way right away because I don't think that, I'd be super clairvoyant by guessing these matches, okay? Because they're pretty much a foregone conclusion. It's for the WWE title, the undisputed, but it's not undisputed, but okay, we're going to get on that. I can debate that all day long. Cody Rhodes defends against Solo Sikoa. Then for the WWE Women's title, it's Bayley against Nia Jax. And then you got for the WWE Heavyweight title or whatever, Gunther against champion Damian Priest. And then for the Women's World title, it's Liv Morgan against Rhea Ripley. It's pretty safe to say that those 4 matches are probably going to happen at SummerSlam. And I don't think that I would be remiss for saying something like that. So we got those out of the way. That's 4 matches. Now, off the top of my head, I can think of 10 to 11 matches that'll probably happen at SummerSlam, okay? But the WWE doesn't do that, and they don't do 5-hour pay-per-views. I know, or PLEs. It's the Paul Levesque era, PLEs. I do know that for events like SummerSlam, they go a little bit over their allotted time. Lately for for the upcoming Bash at Berlin or for Clash at the Castle or for the King and Queen of the Ring, there were 5 matches and they were pretty short. I'm guessing that Bash in Berlin is going to be like that as well. I mean, we don't know, but I'm guessing that that's going to be a PLE that's sort of like small lineup. You get a chance to see all your top superstars. And runs by pretty quickly, a lot of video packages. But for SummerSlam, knowing that SummerSlam in I think 2025 is going to be a 2-night event, I believe, and 2026 definitely going to be a 2-night event. So with this event coming up, I don't know if they're going to give us a little bit of a preview of that or if they're going to keep it with like 6 or 7 matches. So I'm going to say that it's going to be 7 or 8 matches. And the reason why I'm going to say that is just because I don't want it to go too far out of the reach. I don't think it's going to go that 10 or 11 match route, although they could. Each of those 10 to 11 matches, if they choose to put them on the PLE, actually have story, and actually there's a reason for those matches taking place. But we're going to assume that they're just going to keep it short and go 3.5, maybe 4 hours. I don't know. I don't think they're going to go that long, but that's just my thing. So we got the 4 matches out of the way. I'm going to also say that they're going to do CM Punk against Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins. Triple threat match. I'm going to say the triple threat. I'm not going to say the single. That gives something for Seth Rollins to be a part of the SummerSlam event. So I'm going to say that he's a part of that. And the reason why I'm going to go with that idea is that I think that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, they can hold off from a singles match. This can give Seth Rollins something to do. He's injected in the match. Maybe they have some stakes on the line. Maybe Seth Rollins has an opportunity to gain a championship, title shot, even though I know he promised Damian Priest he wouldn't do that. But, we'll go into predictions later, but I really don't feel like Priest is going to walk out of SummerSlam with the title. I don't think a lot of people do, to be honest with you. So that will give Seth Rollins a shot at, top contender or, something along those lines. So I do believe they're going to go with the triple threat route to get everybody involved. They've got those 3 that have been feuding. Their stories, it all makes sense, and that should be one of the top matches. It should be a 3 main event PLE in my opinion, with Punk, McIntyre, Rollins, Priest, Gunther, and Solo Cody. I think those 3 are headline type of matches, and I think they would make the most sense. So also on the card, I believe you're going to see Sami Zayn defend his Intercontinental title. Now, I was thinking, okay, it would be nice if they ran it back with Braun Breaker, but here's the thing. You've got Ludwig Kaiser, who's probably coming back pretty soon. You've got Bronson Reed, who they don't seem to be slowing down at all. He had a win over Pete Dunne this past Monday on Raw. You've also got Sheamus. And so I'm thinking they might do some sort of 4 or 5-way match with Sami Zayn. So for right now, I'm going to go Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser, Sheamus, okay, and a fatal 4-way. And I do believe they possibly add Bronson Reed to that as well. So Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, Ludwig Kaiser, and Sheamus added to the Intercontinental title and do a 4-way. I'm not a fan of all these multi-man matches. I get it. The Jim Cornette in me is screaming lazy booking or whatever, you know what I mean? But I understand why they would pack these up because they do make sense. Punk, McIntyre, and Rollins for sure makes sense. And to put a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title to maybe give Braun Breaker the win in the multi-man match also makes sense. I know it could be lazy booking, but hear me out. I'm going to go with that, okay? Also, the United States Championship is probably going to be defended as well. And so for that, I'm going to go with Logan Paul against L.A. Knight. Yeah, L.A. Knight and Logan Paul. And this could be L.A. Knight's chance of beating Logan Paul in his place of origin, I guess, in Ohio. I think Logan Paul's from Ohio. So hometown dude, he's probably going to get booed out of the building because he's going to say from Puerto Rico or something crazy like that. And the crowd's going to eat that up. And LA Knight is just super over. So you can give LA Knight the win over Logan Paul at SummerSlam and give him his big moment. And I think you're going to see that there. And also the tag titles. And this is interesting because here I am thinking, you got Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano are the champions right now. You've also got Austin Theory and Grayson Waller that are on the brink of a big split, but they could be they could be in line for a rematch. But then you've got the new bloodline. You've got Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, and even Tonga Loa can be involved in some regard. But I think Tonga Loa as kind of the heavy, and then you use Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga in a tag team for now, I think is the way to go, my opinion. And then you've got Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, RKO, as well. So if you don't just have a grudge tag team match between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens against the new bloodline, I feel we get some sort of multi-team match. And I know this is crazy because all I'm doing right now is just throwing a bunch of multi-man matches. But look, you got to understand, SummerSlam is only going to be a few matches more than these regular PLEs that they've been having recently. I don't expect it to be a 10 to 12 match event. And so how else are you going to stick all of these pieces together here? I still haven't gotten Karrion Kross and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods on the event. I still haven't gotten Chad Gable, the Creeds, and Ivy Nile against the Wyatt Six, which I also think could make total sense. I haven't gotten some of these guys that are actually on the television and working these programs, which could very well blow off on SmackDown or Raw, and you don't have to have these matches on the PLE. But SummerSlam is so huge, I'm thinking that you do need to have most of the titles at least defended and some of these grudge matches at least blown off. How are you going to have a SummerSlam without Randy Orton? Also Tiffany Stratton, I was thinking about putting her in the ring against Trish Stratus. Tiff and Trish. You can't, that's a blockbuster lineup. This is going to be a big super card, and you want to get the most amount of people involved. So I'm going to go with a multi-tag title match at SummerSlam for now with the new bloodline, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory, and Ciampa and Gargano. And we'll see how that plays out. I do believe at least one of the tag team titles has to be defended. Finn Balor and JD McDonough, they could also put the titles on the line against Braun Strowman and a partner of his choosing. I don't know. They could go so many different ways with this, but they don't need to be on the SummerSlam event because they can be involved in Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan's match, or Damian Priest and Gunther's match. And I also believe that Pete Dunne is going to be potentially involved in Gunther Damian Priest, because I believe his trajectory, now that Tyler Bate is hurt, is to eventually join Imperium. So you're going to look for that, as well as they're building up that story with Sheamus and Pete Dunne walking away from Sheamus. I feel like there could be something going on with that as well, which leads us to that Fatal 4-Way match with Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, Braun Breaker, and Sami Zayn. And I hate to do all of these multi-man matches. I don't really want to do it, but you guys don't understand. They're forcing my hand with these things, because you got to get these guys involved, because they've been focal points of television for so long, and all of these programs make sense to have matches at SummerSlam. So hey, don't blame me, just blame the great writing and me trying to fantasy book my way through this. So that's me predicting the SummerSlam lineup for August the 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio, about 3 weeks away from actually happening. 4 of them, you can cut those 4 off. So that was me doing like 4 or 5 types of predictions. So just to go over that again, you've got Solo against Cody Rhodes. You've got Bayley against Nia Jax. You've got Damian Priest against Gunther. You've got Punk against Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins. You got Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan. You've got Sami Zayn defending against Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus. And you've got and then you've got Randy Orton, KO, the New Bloodline, Ciampa and Gargano, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory for the tag titles, and Logan Paul against LA Knight. That's 8 matches right there. So if they go over that, they so choose. I think they're going to stay within the 7 or 8 match realm for this event, and to build it up for the two-day event next year. But what do you guys think? Do you think I nailed it? Do you think they're going to say not so many multi-man matches there, Fantasy Booker? But what do you guys think? You guys let me know in the comments. How do you think SummerSlam is going to shape up? It's within 3 weeks. Super excited to be a part of this event, and I hope that you're checking out the channel with the thumbs up and the notification bell, because I'm going to be hitting you up with updates as we get closer and closer to the big event. Wrestling fans, as always, stay united, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care for now.